Let's go to the other side. Bubble watch losers. We'll start with Texas. The exact quote on HQ at about 10 a.m. Saturday into Sunday night from Jerry Palm was, Texas is dead. He said Texas needs to make the SEC tournament title game to have a chance as an at-large. Trey Johnson was 0 of 14 against from the field against Oklahoma. Jordan Pope showed up and he played well, but Texas lost too many home games this season. It's been a real problem, and Texas is not likely to get in. If Oklahoma does get in, and this is now with bigger conferences, like these kind of records are going to go by the wayside, but the record for the most games under 500 in league play for at-large teams is 4. It's been done by 5 teams. The most recent one was West Virginia 2 years ago with 7 and 11 in league play and got in. And I remember there was some noise about that. Oklahoma actually did it back in 2019 as well. Texas is 6 and 12. Okay. So it is 6 games under, and this is just in the regular season, not counting for whatever you do in your conference tournament there. It's not a good situation in Austin right now, and they need an aberrational run in the SEC tournament to do it. If you're listening and curious what their road is, I've got you covered. Vandy on Wednesday, and then if they win, they have to beat A&M. If they win that, they have to beat Tennessee, and then could theoretically place Auburn in the semis, and then we might have something. But it's a long road, and Bobby Fairchild is very much in danger.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. Even as you were just laying out the possible path, it was like, all right, we're not doing that.
You were like, Norlander, you said A&M, you can stop.
Well, once you've been so mediocre that you're on the wrong side of the bubble, it seems crazy to think you're just going to run through a league like this. Like, I would be a little more open-minded about a mediocre ACC team running through it, because like you just get Duke popped off somewhere, and then, I know Louisville and Clemson are good, but like let's go play. But in the SEC, it's like, here's A&M, there's Florida, there's Tennessee, there's Alabama, there's Auburn, there's Mississippi State, there's Ole Miss, there's Kentucky, there's Missouri. Is like, of all these teams, you're going to be the one at the end? I doubt it.
Let's stick in Texas. What are we doing with Baylor here? 18-13 team. It loses at home to Houston, 65-61. The notable wins: Arkansas, St. John's, quality. West Virginia at home, and that's about it, my buddy. They're in the field right now, but that's a bubble loser. 10 and 12 in Q1 and Q2. Resume metrics are outside the top 40 at present. I got to bring up the Big 12 tournament bracket here, GP. Give me your thoughts on Baylor while I bring up this bracket, tell you who they're going to play.
Jerry Palm's got them in the first 4 right now.
They're going to Dayton right now, according to Palm. Okay.
That means the road to joy could start in Dayton.
They say the road to joy does start in Dayton, so that makes a lot of sense. Baylor.
The road to joy starts in the first 4.
Baylor is a 7 seed in the Big 12. Have you seen this Big 12 court, by the way?
I have not seen the Big 12.
Oh, my gosh.
Is it outrageous?
Prepare. It's a bunch of Roman numeral 12s. Like, you feel like you're on a gummy the second you turn on the TV. It's going to be.
I'll do it.
The women have already done it, so it's already gotten some buzz on social media. This is going to go viral again in a couple of days when the Big 12 tournament starts.
I'll get high and watch the Big 12 tournament if you want to.
Yeah, you might find yourself at the nexus of the universe if you do that and watch the game there. Toss on some dead while you're at it. Baylor's the 7 seed. It will play the winner of Arizona State, Kansas State. Don't lose that game. And then if it wins, it gets Texas Tech. Just keep an eye on Baylor, folks. Definitely a letdown season. Let's keep it moving. Carolina loses to Duke. The situation hasn't changed. Let's talk the game real quick. They're going to have to beat Duke. They have to beat Duke in order to get into the tournament. It's now the 5 seed. It needs to beat the winner of Notre Dame Pitt. Notre Dame won in 4 overtimes against Cal, by the way, on Saturday. So Carolina's got to be probably Pitt. Probably Wake. For all I know, it will be Pitt. And then it would play Duke in the semis of the ACC tournament. 111 quad 1. It somehow is 28th in BPI, but it's near 50 in resume metrics. Much more to do. RJ Davis was really having a moment there Saturday. Like, it actually felt for about 20 minutes of real time. I was like, hot damn. Carolina really might do this. Like, they might give us a really cool kind of plot twist here heading into the postseason tournament, pull off a quad 1 win, get themselves into the field. And instead, if you were watching the game, Malik Brown had 2 made triples the entire season. He hit 2 in the second half to match the season total. That felt like backbreakers. And one of them, he was so wide open, it looked like Carolina was just daring him, Parrish, to shoot it. He hit it. It was cash. It was almost like Duke was messing around on the playground. And then at a point, it was like, not going to happen. Like, we're better than these guys, and we're just going to straight up knock them out of the building. They did. It was a 29-10 run over the final 12 and change. And so Duke went Duke, and Carolina went Carolina. I don't suppose we have more to say on UNC, but I'm giving you the floor to do so if you want.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot, obviously for tournament purposes, but I just think broadly speaking, it's the program's in a tough spot right now. There was a couple of moments that I don't know if they went viral, but they went enough to where they popped into my timeline and I saw them. There was a moment on game day yesterday morning where Jay Billis is talking about North Carolina's resume. Did you see this?
I did not. No, I was at my guy's little game there, so I did not catch game day.
Okay, yeah, we had baseball practice yesterday, so I was actually watching Zuby Ejiofor on a MacBook.
There we go.
Sitting on a bleachers at a youth baseball field. So we were experiencing this stuff the same way, at least part of the day. So I think Jay's talking like right now. Carolina's 1-11 in quadrant 1. This time yesterday they were 1-10. So Jay says something like, Carolina's 1-10 in quadrant 1, but the thing you have to realize is, 7 of those losses are against top 25 teams, and game day is at Carolina, and Carolina fans are like, yeah, they start applauding that, and it's like, wow, we've reached the point where Carolina fans are applauding their quadrant 1 losses, right? I mean, that's a real thing that happened. Jay was like, but the 11 losses, most of them are to good teams, and Carolina fans were like, yeah, we lose to good teams a lot. We lose to good teams a lot, and bad ones infrequently.
And we'll do it again. And they did.
And we'll do it again. And then they did it again. And then there's the moment last night. There's 2 women. They look like students.
I saw it. That was very NCAA tournament pep band flute girl Villanova.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that energy that was coming off the screen there.
And I'm not a lip reader, but other people are. And so thank God for lip readers. What will we do without lip readers?
I think we'd be all right.
God, we'd probably be all right, but
you'd be all right.
I like them. I'd rather have them than not.
Respect and admiration to the lip readers. I think we'd be all right.
I think we'd be all right, but I'd rather have them than not. There are plenty of people I'd like to remove from this earth, but if you leave it up to me, I'd keep the lip readers. I like them.
All right.
I like what they give us. So these 2 women are talking, but we don't have mics on them, so we need lip readers. This is exactly why we need lip readers. And apparently one of the women in tears. First off, I just think it's funny that people cry at basketball games.
Hey, listen, don't hate the passion. People get invested.
I know, but like, how invested could you be to cry after watching your school lose for the 11th time in a quadrant 1 opportunity? How invested could you be at this point?
Well, we saw just how invested.
So she's crying, and then she apparently says, according to the lip reader, she says, well, at least they tried hard, which is like...
That's what I said at my kid's game on Saturday.
This is North Carolina basketball.
To be honest, it was rec. Let's be clear, it's rec ball.
He didn't try hard?
They destroyed the other team. They destroyed them. And we weren't keeping score or anything like that. So they did try hard, and they got the win. By the way, shouts to Dan Shulman. I was on the HQ desk doing highlights and stuff, so I did not hear this in real time, and no one has sent me the clip yet. Did you hear it? He called out. He did the pod reference. He did as the crow flies. I didn't hear it.
If he said it, I did not hear it. My apologies. I was juggling
he not
a
only
million
said it,
different
he
things.
texted me at a commercial break, and it was like, it's done. I was like, thank you. Appreciate that.
He's the best. He really is the best.
He is the best. We appreciate you, Dan. A couple more losers. Nebraska is done. Nebraska was 16-8 and is now 17-14. It's not even going to the Big Ten tournament. It's out. Iowa walked into Pinnacle Bank, just like Minnesota walked into Pinnacle Bank, just like Michigan walked into Pinnacle Bank, just like Maryland walked into Pinnacle Bank.
I don't like it.
Just like USC walked into Pinnacle Bank, just like Rutgers walked into Pinnacle Bank. They all walked in, got a win, and walked right out this season. They all walked into Pinnacle Bank. GP Nebraska fans, apologize, but you're done. You're toast. You're not going to the tournament. Big bubble loser.
I don't like it. I don't like anything you said.
Well, Facts over feelings here. At least they tried. A couple more. Ohio State was a loser, 17-14 now, 4-6 down the stretch, by the way. We'll play Iowa. Speaking of, they will play Iowa. So Iowa's going to try and kill off another Big Ten team's NCAA tournament. Fran McCaffrey, he might be going out, if he is indeed, he might be going out with a vengeance here. If Ohio State beats Iowa, it would then get Illinois and then Maryland in the Big Ten tournament. I think the Buckeyes need 2 wins minimum here. Diebler better Diebler, like he hasn't Dieblered before. Otherwise, Bucks are they might be playing in that crown thing. That's just atrocious that they're playing in Vegas. If you haven't looked it up, don't. Boise State and VCU both lost as well. Boise State 83-73 to San Diego State. It's now in a must-win game against SDSU in the Mountain West tournament. Or is it SDSU? I don't think so. Hold on. Yeah, faces SDSU. Yeah, that's right. And then VCU. They've got, what's interesting about them? They lost Friday night to Dayton, and they lost at home. So they're 25-6 GP. They're 7-5 in Q1 and Q2. Their net is 31. They're quad 4 losses to a Big East opponent in Seton Hall, but they don't have a win over a team in the field.
Right.
Can they make the title game lose and still get in? I don't know yet.
I'm worried they're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
I'm worried they're not going to be able to take a loss. What I was hoping is that they would do enough in the regular season, because that's a team, having watched them a million times, including in person, that's a team that I could easily see in the Sweet 16 if they got to the tournament. But they might not get to the tournament. The problem for them now is once you lose this home game to Dayton, it's a resume ding, pushes you down the bracket. Palm's got them as an 11 seed as of this morning. And then you go in the A10 tournament, and there's nothing that can help you there. And just stuff that can hurt you. And I don't know that they can take another questionable loss and feel safe on Selection Sunday.